Oh, okay. Well, you can find a new spot to hit the button, I guess.
Yeah, I hit the button.
Okay, the button is hit.
Button is hit. Um,
Boom, and we're back in
Season
it.
5. Can you point at the bottom of your thing? Uh,
Episode 5,
Episode 5.
season
We
1.
actually put it on there this time. We're gonna
Let's
get the
look at that.
ding because I started streaming when I don't use OBS to stream anymore. I use Streamlabs OBS, which I was almost gonna stream today. Um, I do need to start streaming on my days off, and I will be doing that soon. So you guys can catch me over at twitch.tv/doomfunk with zeros for the O's. This is Paradox Pope.
What's
Um,
up?
what's up is Ash and
Fucking
Kaisa have
playoffs.
been
Oh,
carrying my ass through. I'm out of bronze. I'm firmly into silver 4.
set, feet placed, never
Um,
going back.
and as a longtime Ash enjoyer, it's very nice seeing her get play in multiple regions.
Oh yeah, yeah. The prio is definitely up.
The I will say this: if anybody is playing like gold or below, and you don't trust your team that much because maybe they suck, maybe don't go the Gale Force or Kraken Slayer into PD build. It's really good if you have a team play around, but if you don't have a team, you're gonna go tier, and you're gonna go um, Shield Bow or Kraken Slayer, Wits End or Blade of the Ruined King.
Oh.
Um, but maybe we'll see my build pop up in a pro game. I would love to see it. I've been ahead of the curve a few times in ADC builds. What have you been playing
Really?
this?
Oh, dude, what have I been playing? Actually, the last like 5 games I played mid. I was just
Okay,
rocking, playing some Lucian because
Lucian mid.
I just love to play Lucian, honestly. And solo lane seems really fun.
It's a fun
It's
champ.
definitely the sweaty pick, but you know, sometimes you just gotta style on some people and do tons of deeps.
I actually did lock in a Lucian earlier today, but because I think Kaisa and Ash were banned. Or no, we were really AP heavy, so I didn't want to pick Kaisa. Ash was banned, and so I lock in Lucian, and then someone dodged.
Nice, nice. Yeah, no, I don't know. The Lucian I had, he plays really well into mages. I feel like the mage matchups are a lot really easy, and the melees are even better. I had a Camille mid in one of the games, and honestly, had all the dominance, was playing it pretty well, but my team, like, I was playing with Dilly in that game, and he was on the phone for like 18 minutes of the game, and he was playing fucking a Mumu, so he's just AFK farming for 18 minutes. I'm getting like ganked on repeat by the jungler and the support because I've got so much priority. And a lot of times I'm going 1-for-1 and shit, and I'm getting the plays, but I'm just like Dylan finally comes back into the call. He's like, "Oh, sorry." I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck have you been doing? You are 1-5 and it's 20 minutes. Like, what the fuck, man? Just come to my lane and kill this bitch."
It is so hard. Even people you're like playing with that you like, it's really hard to get people to play around you when you're
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And like I think that's the biggest thing I notice whenever I play lanes, especially because like I'm a pretty fucking aggressive player. I'm always fucking going for it. So if I have the priority in the lane and I'm playing super aggro and my jungler just never comes to my lane, I get fucking angry. I'm like fucking 13-4, dude. Just come to my lane.
Were you in that game where I called our Cho'Gath um a giant purple fucking retard?
I know. I don't think so.
We had this Cho'Gath who went AP and was just like not doing shit. And I'm like, just play around me, you big purple fucking retard.
Oh
And
no,
then
I was in that
yeah.
game. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah,
And we
yeah,
won
yeah,
that game.
yeah.
We won that game.
Yeah.
Because he eventually just played around me, and all I needed him to do was hit one knockup. Just give me one bit of CC to play around, buddy.
I feel like the most of my gaming experience has been having people who completely int games away and then at in the post game lobby just tell the other team I called them a racial slur.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been like every single game. It's just like, all right, cool, you're getting fucking reported for hate speech then, you dumb cunt. And I sit there and just call them a dumb cunt too. I'm like, all right, you're just a fucking stupid cunt.
I
Enjoy
love
your
the word
ban,
cunt.
dipshit.
Cunt's such a beautiful word.
I have many terrible things, but racist is not one of them. So
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit, but I'm
right.
not a racist
Yeah,
piece of
try
shit.
again. Try again.
Oh, way
I
off topic. I was watching a bunch of clips from the Comedy Central roast,
oh
and
god.
the Rob Lowe one. They had Ann Coulter.
The
Like
Rob Loeb roast is actually funny as fuck.
it's dude. Everyone is just ripping on Ann Coulter, and it's like in the comments, someone's like, you can tell the difference between a roast of someone that you love or look up to, and a roast of someone you hate, because they were just like telling
They're
her to
way different.
fucking kiss, dude. They were just fucking. They were tearing into her, and I'm like, I'm about it. She's a racist piece of shit. But all right, on the
Yeah, yeah.
topic. Uh,
Where we're starting, we're obviously playoffs are abound in all four major regions.
let's start with the LCS ending their round robin.
Yep, yep.
Team
Had
Liquid
our
taking
super
first
week.
place. Good job, boys.
I am not surprised by that outcome, but I am surprised how it came about, honestly.
Yeah, the
Just because I wouldn't
C9
expect
lost to
Cloud9 to drop two
FlyQuest.
games. Yeah.
The C9 lost to 100 Thieves, which 100 Thieves is finally looking like a team again.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Solid third place team.
Yeah. I think they're pretty easily defined the third place, but it's like interesting. Fourth place is 9-9. 50-50 win rate is fourth place.
The
That's
the pack looks really like the competition actually looks good right now.
hmm for the
Like
most part.
Team
These
Liquid
are
and
definitely
C9
decent teams.
are a step above, and I would say just like raw player skill and teamwork and
Yeah.
cohesiveness.
Yeah, they're definitely like the defined A or S tier, however you want to put it, with 100 Thieves being the next tier down, EG being the next tier down. And then honestly think like FlyQuest and Golden Guardians are probably pretty comparable. Like FlyQuest could have better ceiling, should have better ceiling, but we'll see if they actually execute to it. I think their players should be better as a whole. Like Jose, Tuki. I think Tuki and Ablaze are pretty equivalent, but I do think Jose is probably a bit better than Pride Stalker. But I honestly think that maybe Olay is probably going to be better in a best of series than Afro, just because he's a more action player. He does shit. He's never pretty. He's never passive.
I don't know. Afro looked really good in that C9 game.
Yeah, I didn't see that one all the way through. I saw the draft and the outcome, and I was
He
surprised.
looked really good. He's playing smart, but he's also like he's pushing and being aggressive where like it matters.
Yeah,
I think
no,
Afro is definitely not to be slept on. Like
no, I'd like to see him. I'd like to see FlyQuest become more than the sum of their parts and like maybe be like almost better than 100 Thieves. Like that could be fun to watch, but I doubt that. Like I don't know if they can fire on all cylinders like that. Because I think with 100 Thieves not being super cohesive, FlyQuest could be a better team.
I think
You know,
like FlyQuest just has just Kumo's not up to par of the top lane pool right now.
yeah, he's not going to be the same level of carry, but they could throw him on some, weak side picks and
Even on his
make him laugh.
Malphite, like the way he was playing that wave and just always letting it crash,
Yeah,
not
but
trying to pull it
the
off to
lane
the
doesn't matter.
side.
The lane
It
doesn't
it,
matter.
it doesn't matter, but you could still be. It does to an extent. You could be eking out little things where like Summit's not fucking chewing your tower down to
For sure, but like when you're dealing with that matchup, like he just needs to make it to the team fight phase because Summit wants to split push and is playing a more, like if that was the Graves or the Tryndamere game, I don't know which, but
it was a
you're
Tryndamere game.
yeah, he's got much less contribution to the team aspect, whereas Kumo on the Malphite is pretty huge. And if you're playing against a team that doesn't play Silas, Malphite seems pretty fucking free. You know?
All right, so when when I hear things like that, it really gets me on to I really hope that I can fucking coach a team one day because I will make motherfuckers grind champions that I think is good. Like, because, like, there's some things you just really should be able to play.
I mean, there is only one Western player that can play Silas.
And he has a capital P in his name.
Yep. But it's not the first letter.
It's not the first letter.
You know?
It's the
Like, and
only.
that's the thing. That's the problem with that is like, yes, like Silas is a great champ, sure, but like outside of like Rookie and Knight, Caps is the only Western player that can actually play that champion and not make it look like dog shit. Like even Niski's Silas is only meh, you know? And definitely no one in LCS has played that champion and made it look fucking ridiculous. He was OP for periods of time and it was
Wait,
definitely spammed
didn't
back then,
Bjergsen
but
play it earlier in the year and it looked pretty good? I
I
have, I have
don't
a
know if he's
vague
played one
memory of
this year.
this.
Like the some of the more pop off champions I remember Bjergsen playing was like, and he
No,
had
yeah, he did.
crazy
He
Akali
did.
games.
He picked the Silas into a TF and actually fucking popped off a bit with it.
Yeah, but that one, like that's a good lane for Silas.
I
If
mean,
he's
it's
not rolling the team fights though, he's not popping off. Silas is so OP in the right comps. Like he is so strong.
yeah, I love that champ. I wish I was better on him still after his adjustments and everything.
I miss his jungling. He was a good jungle champ. Great gank, good clear. He was strong.
All
But
right,
yeah, I
so
think FlyQuest could be okay. I'm worried about EG. Honestly, I don't know if they're gonna really jive in spring.
I'm
And
worried about Inspired.
yeah, dude, me too. I was about to say that, and I'm worried about Inspired because like
Like,
Inspired, I've been listening to a lot of different people talk about Inspired and like playing with him and shit because the rogue conversations going on so much
yeah,
right now with you know, and it's honestly a pretty fair point that it sounds like Inspired is really hard to play around because he is effectively giving every lane like 10 to 20-second windows in which your jungler is available, but it is only this 10-second window while I'm here at Krugs, and if you don't need me to gank while I'm at Krugs, you're not getting a gank. And I'm pretty sure like JoJo does not have enough experience to be able to play that style. And I'm sure Impact just literally doesn't give a shit. So I can understand how
I
Inspired
mean,
may not be fitting that team very well.
I feel like Impact's been living that Cali life since he got there, man. Like,
Limited is
I feel like as the
I
years
got
go
nothing really to
on,
say about Impact.
I
You can't
mean,
really complain about him.
I just I hear that man talk, I see them, and I see that man's face, and
He's
he
got a
likes living
tower.
in California.
Yeah, he's got his tower back home, but he lives in Cali.
Um,
No, yeah, I don't know. It's I would like to see EG become more, but it just seems like it's Danny carries that team across, the finish line or bust is what it kind of feels like right now.
all right,
And yeah,
so just a quick little thought thing. I don't know contract situations or anything. But let's just say Spica's contract is up this year with TSM,
okay.
which hopefully it is. Um, and
I think at the
then
end of this year, yeah.
yeah, at the end of this year, and then maybe Inspired signed a 1 year contract. Spica going to EG. Now, if that same lineup with how like JoJo's getting, I think, better by the week. Um, but having someone like Spica in the jungle next to him and not Inspired, how different does that team look?
Honestly, man, for real, me just looking at this roster and how this season has gone, I bet EG be better if they just kept Svenskeren.
Well, Svenskaren's back on C9.
Yeah, as a streamer, but that doesn't count. He's
No,
just
no,
there.
he's actually a sub.
Yeah, but he's chilling, you know. He's
Yeah,
like he's there to be hired, basically. You
he
know, he really is just there to be hired.
I think it was also C9 going, let's get this man under contract so he doesn't go anywhere else.
That's very possible. Like, there's a lot of advantages to having him employed for sure. But like, just straight up believe, yeah. Like, I don't know, like Svenskeren and Jizuke was a bit of a harder like jive, just because Jizuke's again like Inspired is very particular with how he plays the game and is very resource demanding, and Inspired is just more like, don't fuck with me, and I'm gonna get ahead. Like, don't bother me. I'm doing me things. And I personally, I don't think that's how the jungle should be played. I don't think that's how the role is good or strong, even though I don't think Inspired's bad, and I understand he was an MVP
No,
fucking,
so
you
that's a
know,
good little segue
candidate.
into a tangent of Canyon's performance on Nidalee and how
They
even putting a
lost.
jungler behind so much and your jungler getting ahead so much, if it's not transferred to your lanes,
Somewhere
it
between
doesn't mean shit.
yeah, somewhere between season 6 and 8, they they made it more and more difficult for the jungler to just be the recipient of all resources and thus be the main carry for a team. I have always personally considered jungle um, a multiplicative role, in the sense that it has no power. It is a coefficient. And if if you're timing whatever value by your jungler's ability to like exponentially accelerate the other players on the game. So if your team is bad, is like ones and zeros, guess what? You times whatever number by 1 and 0, you're getting 1 or 0, or the same number or 0. You get no increase of power. But if your mid laner is a 5 and your jungler is a 5, 25. It's different, like it's not just a matter of jungler adds on because jungle is so OP. Jungle is OP because of its ability to affect other roles and multiplicatively increase the pace of the game, you know? And I think that's going to be the problem. Like, you look at the Canyon game, the last game, game 5 of Genji versus Damwon, and Canyon was strong as fuck, and really the entire team was strong as fuck. But at the end of the day, they had a 3,000 gold advantage on the jungle, and like up to 1,000 gold advantage on any other role, which is pretty small at the end of the day. We're talking about like a pickaxe. So it doesn't really matter that at the end of the game, the Hecarim is only an item and a half. Hecarim still gets to press R into the middle of the team. He gets to press E and dive onto a carry, and he still does great base damage. Whereas Nidalee, especially building damage, if you don't chunk and kill with spears and shit, which Canyon was doing well, but like if you don't do that, you do nothing. That's why I kind of think, especially for Nidalee, I do still think the Moonstone build is the way to go for her. Because if you can go Moonstone Staff and have a high stacked Dark Seal, and then maybe get Chemtech Putrefier, you're talking about maybe 7k gold, 3 items with 200 AP,
And a lot of
you
team
know,
contribution.
and a lot of team contribution because of the Moonstone as well as the heal, and they just increased the range of the heal and decreased its mana cost. So I think that is the way to play Nidalee, especially like these champions, because you want to try and pivot everything to being about the team interaction. Some junglers are about damage and that's their team interaction, but like a lot of these other champions can be utility focused, and I do think that's why a lot of these champions are popular. You think of Volibear and how prevalent he's been in the meta, in the pick ban recently, especially. And Volibear is just 100% a utility jungler. He's got good base numbers and he can fight, but that champion is utility for sure. So I do think that's the best way to play jungle, and I think that could be why Inspired is struggling, because they're coming out of a full clear meta, which he was god in, back into a more typical jungle balance where you kind of need to interact with the map, and he's just not as good.
Yeah, that was well put. Jungle is
So I just want to clarify for everyone who's listening who's not a jungler, it is your fault that your jungler is doing bad. Yeah, basically 80% your fault. Yeah, sorry to say.
so now.
Man,
But what if
sucks
you
to
have a
suck.
jungler
Oh, rough.
who's multiple who's their
Wolf
contribution to
Collective
the team
is also low.
is
Yeah.
low. It's like a
Then,
point five, and so it's
you got that
actually,
autofield juggler, you're gonna enjoy losing this game.
dude.
You better pop the fuck off.
I had this
You have to
Echo
be high.
today who
You have to be
was
high.
just brain dead, mentally AFK on an Echo. Like you just can't like
No, you have to snowball an Echo jungle.
yeah,
Like you have to, and you don't clear fast enough to do it by farming.
dude. He would just throw his W, which is the big AOE shield thing, right? He would just throw that away while he's doing Krugs, and I'm like, that's not ganking my lane, buddy. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of solo queue, so sorry.
I'll start playing some more solo queue again. I already know how the games are gonna go. Let's see if I can get
So
through 5 without tilting out
on the jungler
my brain.
conversation, um, it's been talked about a little bit on some things, and I'm going to give an argument based off of what you just talked about for my MVP vote.
Okay.
Santorin.
I think that's a fair. I was listening to the jungle this morning, or a little bit this afternoon, and they were Dom was talking about how Santorin is not ganking as often as he has in the past, and I really can't really remember enough games to say, but I do think Santorin's had a good split. I
I
think
think
Santorin is
he's
always such a good player.
I think he's where he is needed to be 98% of the time.
I think TL's biggest trap is the fact that they know they are a good team, and they don't have to actively beat the players in front of them. Like Santorin doesn't need to gank top lane for Bwipo to win. You know, Core and Hans don't need Santorin for that 2v3 or that 2v2 to make it a 2v3 so that they can win. Core will call him when he needs him. Bwipo will call him when he needs him, and I bet that basically kind of
Well,
translates to Santorin just chilling some games, and that's probably why that looks like that. I expect, but
Steve was on Hotline League, which also we need to start calling it Hotline League because like we got some pretty good takes, and I
oh
feel like
yeah,
it'd be a good
start
plug.
start promoting our shit.
Yeah. Hey,
I'd love it.
do you have any shout outs? Yeah, Grubhub, Alienware, and check out my podcast.
Check out the Pod of Ages on YouTube.
Um,
It's sick.
but I feel like we got some good takes that we could bring, especially if we like refine them a bit and bring them in there.
I have been honestly mildly surprised at how we will do our show, and then I will listen to other podcasts and like hear the same points. And
But
like sometimes we come after and like the discussion is taken from a different thing, but like sometimes we're just shooting the shit, talking about stuff, and
literally
like
the day after I
two
put
days
out
later,
episode
Monty's
4,
talking the same thing. Yeah.
Azale said word for word. He said Bjergsen's playing well. Fudge is playing well, and I'm like, that's exactly what I said. Exactly. And they
Well,
were.
I think the Ash thing is like even more. Or what conversation did we have that I swear to God I just straight listened to Dom and Monty have the exact same talks? I can't remember what it was. It was either season 3 or 4, but yeah, I don't know. I think we're doing okay. I'm pretty happy with how
We're doing
this
okay.
season 1 has gone. For the first season, we're killing it here. Never done this show before in our lives.
Speaking of never done before, because I like to do random segues. Jat is running the LCS broadcast right now, or running like he's hosting, and I love Dash. I think he's got a great personality. I've been there's video with audio of me talking shit about Jat, which that just mostly comes to the TL fanboy. But I really like the pacing of the conversations with Jad at the helm. I feel like he's even been able to reel in Raz a bit. Like Raz is great. He's got some great takes. He's got a lot of energy. But it's just been more refined and a lot more like easy listening as opposed to just like people just getting shit out. I'm about to like getting out these quick things. It's more of like a laid back conversation. Then like, all right, now we're gonna cut to this. All right, we're gonna cut to this now. And
I feel like
yeah, I just wanted to bring up that it's just really I've been enjoying it, and I don't know if that's energy that Chat's bringing, or if it's something that they've been working on the broadcast, and now it just happens to coincide with him hosting. With whatever Dash has got going on, I hope everything's okay with him. I haven't. I've been meaning to look at Twitter and get some updates from him. But
Yeah, I think Jad is he's in my opinion the most akin to like a traditional sports commentator and caster as far as just like how he looks and speaks and approaches the game. Like he, as you know, he's a fan of basketball and shit. So like he has that like that I'm not gonna say history, that background, so to speak, in the sense that like he's watched it and consumed it. And I think you can tell he is looking at that sphere when he is trying to shape his professional image. And I
well,
think he does a really good job of that and sort of making it not feel like a Twitch broadcast as much as it feels like a professional, you know.
if you ever, I've listened to his podcast. He takes like in the earlier days, he explained that a lot of him taking some of his like segments are taken from other sports talk shows and like books he's read on sports and stuff. And
Yeah, there's
so
definitely a correlation. There's definitely a cross, you know. There's definitely common ground between the two. And I feel
um,
like ultimately everything is defined as we move more and more and take more and more from that.
which that was actually a conversation a few days ago on something with Thorin and Monty. I think it was Summoning Insight, where they were like how it gets brought up about how like traditional sports and esports and something was going on, which is something I like to talk about a lot because I people do want esports to be separate, and it is a different beast in the way things are broadcasted and talked about, and even the way the games are played are extremely different from traditional sports. But I feel like there's a lot of things that could be that can bleed over in good ways, and um I'm excited to start seeing more people with that enjoy one thing and bring it over. Like, well, this could work because it's all still growing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's changed a lot over just the last 10 years, you know, like ultimately that's basically all of professional league's life. It's just a decade. So, and if you think about how different things are from season 5 to season 1 to now, it's still pretty huge. Like even just how the leagues have operated and what the broadcast looks like, you know. But I think it's been growing. Obviously, I think LCS has its viewership problems, but I don't associate that too strongly with the broadcast. I think it's other things. I think they got the talent, you know. For the most part, everyone who's on air and the people who rotate through are pretty good at what they do. So not really gonna, you know,
I'll
you,
straight up say
we,
that probably the biggest problem with the broadcast is those like several minutes of just nothing
yeah,
where you watch if you watch LCK, if you watch LPL, I mean even LEC has a little bit of like their like song of the week, and they'll play you that song for like a minute or two, and then they'll be back into something. But on
yeah, they do need
LCK and
content.
LPL, they have so much player content that is just it gives you an like it you feel more personalized with the player or with the teams or whatever. They just like show it, and like there's just so much dead air that could just be
Yeah,
filled. Like if you turn on the LCS broadcast like between games, there's a 50% chance that you're just going to be looking at a screen that says what games are coming and a timer, and then like some song you've heard a million times.
yeah, even LEC has like the quiz show thing and everything else. I wouldn't mind if they brought back like the mastermind segment. I really liked that last year where they brought in like it would be like Kobe and like Freak with three random pros and they would just talk about a random off meta pick and how it could be good in the comp that you'd want to play it in. Like they did I think like 6 or 7 of those or something last year. I thought that was a great segment. Anything along that line would be great. And it
Yeah.
was just really funny to have like Solo and Danny in there talking shit to Kobe about like why it's his fault that their random pick doesn't work because he can't play the game. You know, like that stuff's good. Just keep it
Or
coming.
even like have like the teams like be able like so I'd be like, okay, if you guys are doing your own content and your own thing, that's cool.
Mhm.
Uh, we get to use that, or like you have to make something that we can use on the LCS broadcast.
Yeah,
Like
just have clips
Give
of the
more from the
summit
teams. If
ASMR.
the teams are yeah,
Dude,
like they
imagine if in
talk
the
about
middle
it, but they don't
imagine
show
if
it.
in the middle of a game, it gets in the middle of a game, like actual game, C9 playoff game, and then like C9 just aces whoever they're playing, and then it just cups up. There's just like a clip from that, and it's just something.
Team
Wow, nice team gap.
team gap.
You know, if that just popped up in the bottom corner, or it's just Summit the ASMR video, wow, like that'd be so funny. It'd be so good. And like it takes nothing to do that. You know,
Also,
pay
we
C9
don't
a little
get
bit extra
fucking
money. Who gives a fuck?
comms. Like we barely get fucking
Dude, we don't even get
comms.
pro view. Like we
We
get
haven't had
jack
ProView
shit.
in a while.
I
But
know, man. We're just over here fucking
we don't
slumming
even
it.
get comms. You can listen to comms in NASCAR for fuck's sake.
Yeah, no, I don't know. They definitely need to bring it up. But since we addressed it and we've been talking about broadcast again, since I said it, LEC had its first rounds of playoffs,
And the
and
Medi Katie combo is my favorite casting team.
honestly, I think LEC just has good like Veti, Cadril, Dracos. They're all really good. You know, they're all really enjoyable. They
Well,
do their
also
thing as well.
like Vedius, Medic, Cagel, Dracos, they're all actually friends.
Yeah,
Like they, if you watch any one of their streams, they're gonna be playing with one of the other ones or hanging out. Whereas on the
yeah,
LCS
playing Clash
broadcast,
together.
it doesn't really feel as
I mean,
like
some of them feel more than others.
yeah.
You know, it kind of, but it depends. I think the biggest problem with the LCS and the broadcast side is always at the end of the day is everyone has to try and act hype about teams that sometimes play bad, or
I mean
sometimes nothing happens and they
that's
just
just
stop talking because the
casting.
game's already over. Yeah, no,
Uh,
there's just certain levels. I don't know. I think LCS broadcast wise, they just need more stuff that's like engaging, but the talent and such is fine. That's really
yeah,
better.
sounds fine. I'm just talking about like the actual just chemistry of just naturalness is just it's so good with those three
Yeah.
like them casting a game. I was like I got to hear what was like. Cadril is really growing into his own as a caster
No,
and an analyst. He
he's
is
making that top really well. He's very
ooh,
personable,
very
well spoken.
personable, smart guy. Also, I've been watching his stream
Knows
more
the
than
game.
anybody else's. The guy is fucking entertaining.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's really fun, and he seems generally like he has got a good character. You know, like when he interacts with his chat, I think he's a plus talent in the scene in general, whether he's playing or not. You know, I think he has just as much to give on the backside. So, and he still plays the game and understands it well, which I think always adds way more to the casting. But Rogue
Yes.
beat Misfits in that round
Rogue
one
Rogue's gonna win
series.
if Vitality doesn't beat G2
I don't think
in it.
Vitality will. I think Vitality's done. They're not. They don't have any hope.
Then Rogue's gonna win it all. Like
Yeah, I think. I mean, maybe the Fnatic Rogue series. I think that'll be a good
it'll
series
be a
at
good
the end of the day.
series, but I think that Rogue is very
They
well put
found
together.
yeah, the Malrong edition is actually huge. The more and more the season passes, the more you see how much he's actually adding to his team. You
And
know,
everyone
and
was
like
expecting
Larson's been
them to
playing
like
really
not
well.
look that good in a best of five. Like
Dude, I also want to say
Misfits, like the game that Misfits
they
won,
ran it.
they looked really good. The game they won, they looked really good. But other than
Yeah,
that, like I felt like
it
there were
was.
times where Rogue just seemed like such a smart team. They were just picking them apart, and it was
Dude, I also
really
want to say
impressive.
I was really disappointed with the draft in LEC in all three fucking series. I did not see nearly as much adaptation as I would have expected for them being on 12.5 since they hadn't played on that patch at all, even in the regular season. Like they didn't like fucking Larson was like the only person playing fucking Kaisa, or I mean Kaisa and Lucian. Because I think they locked in Kaisa in their loss, right? It was Rogue that played Kaisa in that one game. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it was
sure
a bad
Larson played.
Kaisa game because they
It
had
was a
like no
bad Kaisa
engage.
game.
They had
Yeah.
no engage. It
But
was
like Larson is the only motherfucker playing ADs. Like Marksman's mid. Like I Perks didn't pick up the Kaisa or the goddamn Lucian. You know, like it seems so weird. Like
well.
there's
This
just
is
no
a thing
adaptation.
that LS said the other day was LS said the balance team's doing a very good job of keeping champions balanced. He thinks that they're actually doing a really good job of doing that. Items and builds. For me personally, I think not so much. I think that's where a lot of some champions get really strong is because of items and such. Um, but my computer just freaked out a little bit. Hold on.
The frames are catching up.
I just been my internet. All right. Um,
Yeah.
but he said that the balance team's doing a very good job because champions feel balanced, but the meta's very stale. And he went on like a little mini rant about how pro teams and like how pro players and coaches like don't know how to adapt how to adapt drafts, which
But I
is
think it's more, yeah, I think it's more on the players and the coaches not making these evolutions and adjustments because I don't know. I feel like the meta has diversity in it. I definitely agree that there's not a lot of diversity at the same strength level, but I do think with comps and like, players playing the game in particular ways makes up for that deficit really easily,
I mean,
you
so
know?
power level in isolation is one thing. Like you put a
Mhm.
champion into fucking practice tool and you're hitting the dummy and you're like, oh, I can get to this number and then, but this one doesn't go to that high. It's like, I, I think that that's too much of a thing that people do and are too much like, well, it's higher than this. Where like I look at many uh, somewhat intangibles and like I like utility picks, but also I'm a comp minded person. I like to build little.
See, I don't know if they're actually going into Praxis Tool and trying to max stuff out though. That's the thing. So like here's a random example that's not going to be super applicable. But so when before the item changes happened and before Pantheon like was nerfed to the point that he couldn't jungle anymore. I'm not sure if you remember, I used to play Pantheon with Blade and Cinderhulk because the W and the 3 hits because I played Impress the Attack, for the sake of the utility. And I like everyone who ever wanted to type at me about it would tell me I was completely retarded and like lethality is the only way to build Pantheon, blah 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 blah. So I was like, all right, cool, fuck it. I'm gonna go into practice tool. I'm gonna see how these numbers break down. Since I'm being told I'm so wrong. And Blade versus a full lethality item and an extra longsword on top because Blade was a little more expensive was doing more damage to targets with 1,000 max health and 0 armor than a full lethality item and electrocute. So against a target that has no armor, which is better than you'd ever have in a real game, at 1,000 HP, which is like what, like level 5 ADC or something, it was still better than armor pen, just because of percent health, because of damage increase, and the fact that you
Well,
got 3 autos
at
right off the
zero
rip.
armor, lethality's not doing anything anymore.
No, at 0 armor, lethality is good. Like you don't get the percent pen part of it, true, but it is better against lower armor numbers than higher armor.
Well,
Lethality is not good against any armor at all.
isn't it? Yeah, but nobody has zero armor. Everybody has base
Exactly.
armor.
Everyone has base armor. So even against a target that has less armor than any champion in the game, with less
Yeah, but it's
HP than
not.
any
But
champion you would fight,
lethality
it was doing less
removes the
damage.
armor.
Exactly.
So
But
it
you do higher damage if there's no armor or lower armor. You know?
so if lethality goes over how much armor they have, you're doing bonus
It's true
damage.
damage. No, magic damage works like that.
Well then you're
Our
already
AD
doing
does not.
true. You're already doing true
You're doing
damage
true
there.
damage.
But
Yes.
no, but even with the blade of
So
the
it's
Ruin
not
King at
being
that point, you're doing true damage because there's zero
well,
armor.
yet. I mean,
So,
yes, I
you're
suppose.
not getting the reduction.
But you're gonna ignore more of it with lethality. You'll have more of it reduced, with the blade, because armor is a damage reduction tool. It's a
Yeah.
percentage.
So the blade would be
So
doing less damage in a real game than against the practice dummy.
yes, exactly. That is my point.
Yeah, practice
But
tool fucking
you know,
stupid.
yeah, yeah. But the point
Practice
was
in real
that
games.
in practice tool against like a target that is not good, like blade is not super efficient against a target that lethality should be better against. Blade was still doing more damage. So with the emulate on top of it, like from the Cinderhulk, and being tanky, I was just 100% convinced that this build was better because like you effectively had to be at your second serrated Dirk before the damage evened out again. I do believe that people don't know what the hell they're doing. Like you see people in Korea buying Hullbreaker after the range nerfs on shit, like on Gnar and on Graves and stuff. They're still just building it. And even, there was the entire conversation with Leandres versus Morello in the past. I don't think pros are inventive or clever at the game. Like I just don't.
I would say most, yeah, most aren't. I would say even most.
Yeah.
I would say
I'm not saying
more
all
than
of them
most.
aren't,
I would
but
say
I think
more
it's a
than
fair
most
general statement.
coaches aren't either.
Well, the coaches don't know the game. They don't understand shit half the time. You could get the ones that sometimes understand like the concepts and they're okay, but like most of them don't play the game at a high level, and they may not be reading patch notes close enough to understand why a change here or there is so important. But I don't know. I think there's certain things. I didn't really like Larson's Lucian build either though, because he didn't build Blade, and I think Blade on Lucian right now, at least before
His
the.
Essence Reaver build is it's disgusting though.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
just
buy
it's
Essence third.
disgusting. No,
I bought.
Essence Reaver second, and then I would say if you're going against someone who's a bit tanky, or you need some chase down, Blade of the Rune King, or I mean, if you need the chase down, you go PD. But if they're a bit tanky, Blade of the Rune King.
When I play Lucian mid, I like going Blade, Gale Force, Essence, and the side lane. Like it feels disgusting. Like you 1v2 people really easily.
See, I would stop at the Vamp Scepter and then do Blade third, and just to have
I think
that
Blade's
bit of
good.
leech.
Blade is fire. It's a good item right now.
Blade, I think Blade is fucking P right now. But I
Yeah,
feel like on Lucian, just like the spell weaving part
yeah. The
though
spell
is
weaving
just
is so
it's
good, but
so
having
good.
the double tap autos, getting 6 autos out in no time at all because of
Like I
spell
keep
casting is huge.
like I played Akshan. I had like an 85% win rate on Akshan, top and mid for like almost a month, and like that champ carried me like well into gold last season.
That's
uh,
it's different though. That's way different than
well, that's,
Lucian.
well, yeah, I'm just using an example of pros build paths and stuff. Everyone was building rapid fire cannon and what's that? What's the other charged auto attack thing?
Storm Razor.
Storm Razor. Like that was always the build on Akshan, and to be able to like get the chase down going down, like it worked, but you're not as survivable. It's a bit more like front end bursty. Like you get that like first little jump off the wall and you go bang bang. But like if you don't kill him within that, like you're just fucked. Like having the sustain from Blade, also the Blade movement speed leech. Like I build Blade on Akshan every fucking game. Every fucking game. Even if I'm going full fucking crit, I'm like, well, guess what? I'm not going full fucking crit because I'm building Blade of the Rune King on this goddamn champion. So good, but you never see a pro do an on hit build. Like nobody's doing on hit builds, and
Unless you're playing Zeri.
it's actually insanely strong on Zeri. Yeah, but they're even still doing the Triforce build, which I kind of get because I've tried doing. I mean, but in my
That
elo,
is an
like
on hit build though, technically, with the Triforce
I mean,
Titanic.
it's yeah, but you're not going like you're building Blade like fourth in that.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
Well, I mean,
you're
yeah,
not going
sure.
you're not going like
Well, you either
Kraken
gotta
Blade.
you either gotta commit to the side lane 100% immediately, and that's why I think the Blade is where you want it. Because you like if you buy Blade, you just know that you want to
Your one
you
on
want to
one
hunt people
is
basically.
super strong, but it's also
Mm,
really good in team fights.
for sure,
Like
but not maybe not the
leeching
strength of the champion.
someone's movement speed and having that life steal. No, but like the versatility. Like I don't think Blade
Oh yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
exclusive.
yeah,
I think on champions like set, you build
yeah.
Blade of the Rune King, and you wind up at a team fight after that. You're kind of trolling. But on a range
I think
champion,
certain champions definitely like it. But yeah, I definitely wanted to see more diversity in the drafts. But I understand it is first round of the playoffs, so maybe like players like they won't show anything. You know, I think yeah, Misfits looked with the Rogue basically went out exactly as I expected it to. Misfits did take a game, but they were yeah, you know, Vedio can't carry every game. G2 almost looked a little disappointing in that series, though. We'll see how the Vitality G2 series is, but I think G2 will take them. Probably 3-1.
I, like everyone else, am very disappointed in Vitality.
Yeah, dude, the team just it looks like solo queue. Even after a
It
full
does.
split, it still just looks like
And
solo queue.
so I would say you can put some blame on the players, but who's their coach again?
I don't even fucking know. Is it Draco? Dylan Falco? Is that who their coach is?
Can you hit a quick Google on that? Because I don't know who the guy is. But
Uh,
I kind of remember that being a point of talk. Was you have the super team, but you don't have the super team coach.
I don't know. Dylan Falco's on G2. That's right. He's the new G2 coach. Okay.
And
Mephisto.
isn't that copyrighted?
Apparently not. I'm
Um,
not sure how
but
copyrights work on these
I
things.
saw on League of Legends, or not League, of course League of Legends this is League of Legends podcast, but on Double Lift's podcast Trash Talk, he was talking with he was talking about with like Sneaky and Medio, and just like how like they were talking about how like it's not like traditional sports, like the players need more control over the team, and I'm like, this might be why you're not playing anymore Double Lift, because I do think coaches are important in any team like thing. You need someone to
They do
gel
have
it
a
all
role.
together.
Yeah. They have a role that they should fill, and I'm not sure if they necessarily always do. They definitely shouldn't look
No,
like Loco and Breaking Point, tell you that much.
but they should be able to like get
Motherfucker.
they should be an enabler of conversations. They should be a facilitator of direction.
Hmm.
And I feel like Vitality has no direction. I feel like they have no real identity. When you see Alfari is the only one really picking Gangplank. I mean,
Finn played it into him. But if Ari plays fucking um he still plays Divine Sunderer, which I I'm I agree. I don't know if that's the build.
but it's like when like I just feel that they don't have an identity. They're just, like you said, it looks like solo queue. It looks like they're just like being like, I like this champion. I want to play this champion. I'm good with this champion. I'm comfortable with this champion. Like comfort can only go so far, and
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping they're just holding some picks back for this next series when they have to deal with G2 for the sake of the show, of it. But I'm worried. Yeah, I don't know if Vitality is really gonna. I'm not sure if they can be top three in
oh,
like for summer.
I mean,
Rogue's gonna have to fall off pretty hard, and I think Fnatic is just set. Like I just don't think that bot lane is not going to be top two in Europe. I think Hillsong is having fucking cracked year already, and if he keeps that up, there's just no way they're not top two. It's impossible to me.
I think unless Upset and Hillsang have an insane performance, they're definitely solidly second. Because I just think Rogue just looks like the better team.
Yeah,
I feel like they
I
just
think if I think on the Fnatic front, if Razork ever really like gets back to previous form, like, I think that team will be fucking ridiculous. Even internationally, it could be solid, but I think Razork will be the weak league until then. Personally, I'm excited to see how it turns out. I think it'll be Rogue Fnatic finals, and I really think that could be a 5-game series either way.
oh yeah.
Really, ultimately, I don't really know. It's hard to say. I honestly would agree with you though. I think Rogue is looking more um, concisive, and they're definitely more put together right now. Malrong is having a great split. Even if he gets like predicted, he still is doing a good job.
Let's do this back real quick to LCS. So the first game is gonna be It's TL versus FlyQuest.
No, first game is 100 Thieves Cloud 9
These
on
Cloud
Saturday,
9. Okay.
and then it's TLEG on Sunday.
Okay.
Flying Quest and Golden Guardians are at the lower bracket, so they'll play the losers of those two series respectively.
Um,
You know, I think Cloud 9 3-1s or 3-0s 100 Thieves. I think Team Liquid 3-0s Evil Geniuses. You know.
this brings me into with these lower bracket knockdowns.
Mhm.
The argument is, does it favor the team with the second chance in the finals, or does it favor the team with the undefeated momentum?
I generally think that practice pays off in playoffs. It seems most of the
More
time that the team
games
that run,
is
yeah, more games, it does something. Like TSM last year or the year before, whichever the last time TSM won. It wasn't last year, it was the year before. They ran the fucking gauntlet, and then went to Worlds on it. So I do think getting the maximum amount of practice does pay off. We'll see if SKT is ready for Gen G on that front. But I think they've each only played one series.
dude. So if Rogue looks like a really good, really smart team in the LEC and looks like, for me, it looks like clear cut above the rest with a close second being Fnatic.
Hmm.
T1 looks like this
We still
really
don't even know.
smart, really
We still
good
don't even
team
know. We still
with
don't even
Gen G
know.
being not a close second, just second.
They've never played each other.
Yeah, but we've seen them play against
Yeah, but
teams.
that doesn't mean anything. Sloppy teams can still beat better teams by being fucking feisty. Like we don't know. We still who knows? I agree. I think SKT is definitely carrying the momentum and definitely looks more ready. But like straight up, they haven't even fucking played each other. We don't know.
Yeah, but their macro
We
just
don't
looks
even know.
so good. It looks
I
so,
mean,
and
yeah,
they all
it
and they
does.
all have the micro to fucking.
But Gen G just won a game where Peanut was level 2 at 5 minutes with
Yeah, but
4 fucking CS.
that's just me. But also, if you look at it like the experience difference between the two.
I mean, yeah, Gen G is way more experienced. I
No,
agree.
no, I'm talking about like in that game where Peanut was down by like 40 CS. It was
And was only down a level.
only down a level and a half, like two
Well,
at
I mean,
times.
yeah, because he was just fucking hanging out in the lanes, just soaking experience because he couldn't go into his jungle ever. You know, it's hard to actually carry huge
Well,
experience
it's
lanes in
also
the jungle
hard to like
now.
really knock someone down like that. Like you can like solo lane if
And
you
they
fucking
lost. And they lost. It
because
wasn't enough.
jungle doesn't matter.
Because jungle doesn't matter. Because jungle is a trash roll. Doesn't do anything. Case in point, you know?
So
Straight up.
so T1's gonna win.
I don't know. I'm ready to see fucking Chovy make it happen. Ruler Lehens, you never know. Never know.
Gumayushi Karya.
Did you know that Ole ended Karya's like 17 win streak in solo queue when he was in Korea?
Did not know that.
That's why Ole is my second All Pro pick support. He's Core JJ without the refinement, just straight up. He's always fucking making plays, and sometimes he ends. I don't give a fuck. I love to see it. He doesn't know how to tell his team to follow him. I guess is the only problem.
All right, so I actually do have a gripe with Core JJ a little bit.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
The
You're
me-
fired.
it 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 took me by surprise that it even popped in my brain. There are times when he should just be turning and dying to save a life or two, and he's like,
No.
"Bye guys, I'm out of here."
You're saying that the support who is the most notorious for taking kills should sit back and die? I think you've understood who you're talking about here. No, he's a carry support. All right. Even
I'm
if
an
he's playing
ADC
Leona.
main. My support dies for me.
Yeah, I mean,
They
you're
live and
lucky.
die for me.
You're lucky that I have showed you the way, and I don't mind dying to give you kills because I love to go ham.
Dude, all right, so my win rate has been skyrocketing since I've just been letting my team die.
Yeah, that's how you play the game.
Like, I'm an ADC main. I'm getting pinged, spam pinged, missing, like, question marks all over me. And I'm just like,
As long as you're doing 700 damage a minute, I don't give a fuck.
I have, I don't think there's been a game that, I mean, there's been like maybe one or two games out of the past like 15 that I've won where I'm not top of the damage chart. Like, I'm getting out of silver soon, baby.
No,
We're
dude,
getting there.
you've had some good games, dude. I'm just looking over stats, quickly. I would say you've had good games.
All
Here,
right.
I'm trying to show you. I'm gonna show you this one here. This was the good one. Don't mind my second wallpaper. It's just two screens. I'm using print screen.
I'm looking at my phone because otherwise I gotta bring it up. Oh, God. You
Yeah,
know,
it's a
you know, you can, do you not have Snip
profit.
Tool?
Oh, I'm sure I do. I just don't feel like doing it. It's an extra step.
Control Windows S or Windows Shift S.
Yeah, it's 3 buttons.
It's it's this.
Yeah, you want me to show you print screen? It's this right here. This guy, right there. I use this guy, and I hit print screen.
Yeah, but I can't even read this.
Well, I zoom in on the fucking picture.
I
Use
am
your thumbs.
zooming in, but because you're sending it to me over Discord as a fucking
Open original, Doug.
it, bro. This do you know how resolutions work
Yes, I do.
and compression? So you're sending me a 1080
All
by
right. You say Control Windows
3840.
S,
Control Windows S or Shift Window S? Shift Window S.
Shift Window S.
Yeah. You have Snip Tool.
Ah, I see. Yes, yes.
Snip Tool, man. Snip Tool. It's amazing.
I don't. Yeah, it's good. That works nicely. I like that.
Oh
I've
my God,
never
I can read it.
It's never mattered because I usually it's been a while since I've had two monitors set up. You know.
Nice. Now do
Yeah,
that in
that was.
ranked.
Oh, dude, that'd be fun.
See,
Play some mid. I wonder how I do in mid. I've never played mid ranked. It was actually no, I did play mid ranked in season 9 when Rumble was good and Jungle was complete shit.
you should play like you mid or jungle or support. You really should play like mid or support.
I like Jungle, man. I don't know, Jungle's a good role.
If you have a good team.
Yeah, I know, but like the game is
So
pretty
you
awful to
should be
play if you
like
have a bad team anyway.
jungle, support, flex. Yeah, but mid can actually fucking carry.
Yeah, I know. That's when it's fun.
As you can see, like I'm learning actually how to carry from ADC in solo queue right now. Which
It's just different. It's a different thought process. Like that's the thing. I think that's my biggest problem with solo queue in general, is I don't associate playing good League of Legends with winning solo queue.
no, they are
You
not the
know?
same thing. They're when I'm
Yeah.
playing good League of Legends, I lose solo queue over and over and over
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
playing good League of Legends requires teamwork and coordination.
Yeah.
When playing solo
Yeah.
queue lacks both of those generally.
Well, you can do things that you shouldn't be allowed to do if anyone is actually looking at the game. Like
And
there's
you can't
certain
do
things.
things that you should be able to do because
Oh,
no
dude,
one
yeah.
else is
Like
doing it.
yeah. I love having
Like when you ace the team
priority.
at 21 minutes and no one goes Baron.
No, no, the best is when you're playing jungle and you have priority in a side lane and the mid lane at the same time, and then you get 2v1'd on Scuttle. That is the best feeling in the world of League of Legends, I
I
promise.
had, I had, I. So I was in bot lane. I was matching my laner. I solo killed my laner. I was bot lane, killed the ADC. My support matched their support roam to go up to the jungle to help with the scuttle. Their mid lane goes down. Our mid lane pushes in to try and get a plate. Doesn't get the plate. Or jungler dies the enemy mid laner. Jungler pings me.
Nice.
because I was killing my laner, starting to roam up, they die, I turn around. Because I'm like, there's nothing left here. And they're spam pinging me. And I'm like, mid lane
They're
roams and you're
probably
blaming the bot lane? Blame
probably
your
Duo
mid
Q with the mid
laner.
laner.
Probably
Probably
do
Duo
the mid
Q with the mid
laner.
laner. Yeah.
But that makes it even worse that you're like, your buddy didn't even roam for you. Like,
Yeah, no, and that's when I always just straight like I that's the thing about, yes, you understand, like playing with me is I've got no problem just straight saying who messed up in the scenario. If it was me, if it
but
was the persons I'm playing with, or
you
if it's
but
the other team.
you don't type in solo queue. You don't type.
No, you mute all.
I don't mute all because sometimes there is someone who is on like the positive side of things, and if they
I
are, then you
Yeah,
can
no,
work
that's
with
nice to
them.
see.
Otherwise, you just
Yeah.
ignore it. Like actually, I've been adding people who I'm like I play with, and if they're a good support, I add them.
It's just a different world when you're the jungler. Being a jungle main is just different. You have a different League of Legends experience, and it's just is what it is. I generally speaking only mute all the first time someone types something that I don't fucking care to read. Like even if it's not at me, the first time someone just says something stupid is when I just like, all right, cool, mute all. Like they're gonna type something, you know. But sometimes I also like to flame my team, so it's a double-edged sword. But
Yeah,
that's the nice thing also about muting all is that they never see anything back, so you just fucking flame them like they're fucking mutes and they have to take it. It's pretty funny to me. But the best thing is
but I'm
also whenever
climbing.
you're arguing. Yeah, no, you are. You're fucking
I'm
winning games. You're
I'm
doing good.
I'm
You're carrying
climbing.
yourself out.
I'm getting
When you
the
get
fuck out of silver. I'm getting
when
into
you get
gold,
tilted
and
again, we can duo a little bit.
I'm getting into plat this season.
Make it happen.
So this way, next season, I don't get placed in fucking bronze again.
Dude, I fucking A. I don't know. Like my solo queue experience this year especially has been just so different than any year. Just because so many of my games have felt so unwinnable. And I've got no problem saying I fucked up like 3 games. 3 of my losses I earned. Like probably could have won those games, but one of these losses is still a 4v5. And every other like of my 7 or so losses of 17 games, I got like 10 losses. My win streak's terrible, my win rate. But like every other game was just 100% unwinnable.
I actually had a
Zero
Kai'Sa game
16 mid
where
lane,
I could have
zero
hard carried.
14 bot lane.
I could have hard
Just
carried as
unwinnable.
Kai'Sa, but I didn't play confident and aggressive enough where I was getting zoned off by their tank when I could have dove their backline and probably got a kill. But in the times I had dove their backline, they were turning on me pretty quickly.
Yeah, like that's
Um,
different state.
so it's
Like one
like,
game I straight tilted out
could I
100%.
have like gotten an R good enough to get an isolation Q to blow up their ADC and then maybe get a W E reposition and like could I have done it? Maybe, but it was a loss. And
Yeah, that's different. Like saying like expecting the crazy outplay to secure the W is not like the same. Like, in these games I'm talking about, like I could watch my plays back and tell you how I was fucking up the micro in a manner that was still completely within my capability of playing out properly, right? Like there's just 3 games that like I misexecuted. But like, yeah, one of them though was literally just that I did not get the clutch 1v3 nuke on Diana in a 4v5. That was literally one of my, missed executes. Is there was a second that I could have flash QE'd in on a team and probably won a fight huge. And I had the split second hesitation in game where I thought this was a window and I just didn't go on it because I knew I had to play careful. But like I could have won
same
that game
thing,
going
same
in
thing.
there.
It's that do I pull
Well,
the
no,
trigger?
but it wasn't like a maybe could have. Like I know they would not have reacted, and I would have gotten at least the free double in that second. Like there was no like maybe outplay potential. Like I know like it was very different. I know I could have done it. So like that's why like I don't think you should. Like I know in many other games that if I just literally smurfed out of my brain and played as good as I have played on some days, like yeah, I probably could have won those games too. But like that's not a reasonable expectation, you know. And that's just the problem when you're playing champions that can 1v5 or something when you're at like 4 items, is that sometimes you see the windows. And like champions on like Diana, when you hit 3 items, the damage is honestly disgusting. It's probably not balanced. And you start to learn, oh, right there, I literally could have killed 3 people in a half a second. Fuck. Oops, But that's kind of the difference. I think with ADCs, because most of them still require, the auto attacks to actually end the fight, you still have to be able to mechanically execute for like a second and a half to 2 seconds. And that's really hard to do perfectly against 5 people. Whereas like some champions, Diana, I can dash on you in an instant and I press R and in within a quarter of a second you're dead. It's very different. There's
I
just a
can't.
small window.
Speaking of like long mechanical outplays, I finally got my Mastery 7 on Callista.
Hell yeah.
I just can't play her in this ranked elo without a support duo with me.
No, dude, yeah, the
That's
champion's really hard.
I want to get to high plat diamonds. This way, I get people that actually know what Callista fucking does, and I can play
Dude,
that champion. Because, dude,
were you
that
playing when she
champion,
came out?
no, that
Oh,
champion is stupid strong right now.
dude.
Like I'm,
Callista used to be fucking 100% permaban.
yeah, I remember hearing about this. I remember hearing about this,
Oh my
but
god, she
like
used to be so goddamn busted.
Callista with lethal tempo right now. So like the Halo Blades build is really strong, like lane dominant. But what's a little bit more lane dominant because it's not the quick pop pop pop. It's that you get the auto attack in and then whack whack whack. Lethal tempo on Callista is dumb. Lethal tempo as a rune is fucking busted right now. And on Callista, it's really fucking dumb.
You should like if people are dumb enough to let you stack that shit up, then they deserve to die.
You mean let me.
You're playing a fucking mid to short range ADC
Lethal tempo gives you a more attack range.
at 6 stacks. Like you still have to get there. If a fucking
Bro,
Callista
you see my
autos me,
Callista.
I mean, yeah, but she's still Callista.
What are you gonna
Callista
do?
is not
Flash
really.
away? I just burned your
No,
fucking
I'm just
flash for nothing.
gonna fucking either all in on you or I'm going to just walk away. Because at like the
Okay,
laning phases, until 2 items comes on, you really like you're not that fast.
bro. Boots first. Fucking like moon
I'll,
quiver.
sh-
But also,
I'll show you how to fuck up a Callista.
I've gotten so good at stacking at getting a fucking couple spears into lane minions, so that I can get
What
the
do
X, so
you
that I can get the E reset and the slow on the enemy
do you
champion
play?
by
Do you
getting.
play Callista as a counter, or do you pick her blind?
I'll pick that bitch blind.
All
But
right,
only if I get
I already.
but only if I get like an engaged support with me.
If only we knew more support players. I know exactly what I would fucking play into Callista just to prove the point that I'm not worried about it. I'll even fucking play a solo lane. I don't care about that even.
I've been
You
wanting to
know.
play top lane, but no,
I think.
I'm in love with that goddamn champion. I can't wait to.
Yeah, oh, yeah. No, she's a fun champion. I think she's has one of the cooler ADC designs. Um, it's a shame that she's so hard to balance.
Yeah,
Only
I think
thing.
she's pretty balanced right now, but I think like with lethal tempo
Yeah.
and just like the build path, like your first
sh-
half an item is so good.
She's balanced right now, but is historically weak. So I think that's kind of like the frame of reference.
But also
I
like
only know
it's in
Callista to be
solo
useless
queue.
or busted.
Like
Oh
when I
yeah,
pick
even
her,
in solo queue.
I ban Jinx because Jinx
Yeah.
can severely outrange her, has a slow, has a root, like
Yeah, I would want to play
has a shitty
Jinx.
kit.
I think Jinx, Caitlyn. I would play
Ooh.
Ashe as an
I
ADC
would
into
play Callista
Callista.
into Caitlyn.
Really?
Yeah, dodge her fucking net and that's GG.
I would just poke at range. I would just use the auto attack range difference, and not even fucking care
I
about the
mean,
net or the Q.
no, it's play safe until all in. Like, if you
Yeah,
can't put,
but that's the thing. Like with Caitlyn, you play around the range, so you can't all in safely, you know, and you just farm and scale and and bully it.
I mean, I just save farm until it's time to go in, baby, and then it's fucking GG. Oh, I'm so in love with that champ right now. Like I feel like Kais is in a good spot. Ash is super strong. All right, so here's
Yeah.
something that I've been why I'm taking climbing pretty fucking seriously right now. One, I'm tired of being fucking. I placed in bronze this season, and that really pissed me off. Um, but also, so there's a college team. There's the University of New Mexico here. They have a League of Legends. They have an esports club. They have a League of Legends team. If I get to Diamond, I can apply to be their coach. Their coach right now is also a player. But if I get an opportunity to coach a collegiate team, start scouting people, start talking with the university, getting scholarships for people, being able to bring in people, being able to like find these young talents and give them a scholarship at the University of New Mexico to play League of Legends.
Oh, it's definitely the scene is growing. So I think Adolf coaches for a collegiate team. Angry Adolf.
Oh, word?
I think you played a few games with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake. I know his name's Jake, but I don't even know what's his fucking handle right now. Even shit.
Oh,
Calm the fuck down, bro. It's calm the fuck down, bro. Is the handle right now?
let Viper know that I'm sorry. I'm kind of sorry for flaming him the other day, but his Renata is shit.
Viper?
Yeah, when we played for V for Viper the other
Oh,
day, his
yeah,
Renata is trash,
that's
bad.
fine.
Also, so here's a draft thing I wanted to talk about. Renata Glask, OP champion in the right situations.
I'm not gonna lie. Like 3 games later, after you logged off, he and I he giga smurfed a game with me. There was a Kane game that I played really well, and
Was he
he and I
support?
yeah. He's like there's certain things that he plays the game really well on. There's certain things I don't think he plays particularly well on, but that's it's whatever. This is a Dylan game. He and I just 2v8'd this game literally.
Um,
But I was also fucking completely giga smurfing. 12-0 and 8. 12-0 and 9.
like I think it's counter engage or secondary engage. She's fucking busted. Like if you're against like a Nautilus, but especially like she's really good in the Nautilus
I think that's the second
because of his auto attack route.
roots, yeah.
Um, but
Seriously.
any like
I think she's really
into
strong
any
right
hook
now.
champs that goes in. So you would have if Pantheon's in the game, Thresh, Nautilus.
Leona.
Um, I would say not so. Yes, Leona, but also because like
I think Renata is viable right now, specifically because AD is so prevalent in the meta. Like triple AD comps are super common, you know? And I think ultimately, yeah, just a lot of champions are auto
but
attacking well in general,
it's
so
not
she's
even
gonna
just
be a
into
big
that. It's like
pick for them.
if I see I've seen pro teams pick her as like their form of engage, and
Yeah,
it's like
that's not her role.
no, it's not real, but that's what they're fucking picking her as.
Yeah, but we already talked to how pro teams don't know how to
Yeah,
pro players can't think and don't know how to
and
conceptualize this game properly anyway.
it's like
They always just they
I
copy each
I want to
other
see
and
her.
there's only one guy innovating.
I want to see Renata Misfortune Lane.
Misfortune is a champion we should have been talking about.
She's been permabanned for me. I
Dude,
permabanned that bitch.
her presence in LPL and shit and LCK is huge.
I haven't even been
She is
watching
super
any.
on the
I
rise.
just
Yeah, no, like Misfortune. I was because I was watching the series today and Viper was playing a Misfortune Emax with Comet, but
yeah
playing
yeah
AD
yeah
still.
yeah,
You know.
and then you build lethality.
hmm
That's actually what uh, Johnson played in the C9 game.
I
Yeah.
think that was EDG's only win. Was that
Um,
game? I don't remember what the rest of the comp was.
but
Flandre kind of
I
goofed that
I
series a little
played
bit.
against her a couple weeks ago in a game, and the like when you're playing in solo queue and you're just like my teammates are bad, ban the thing that's not just gonna kill me, but is gonna kill everyone else on my team.
For
And
real.
You ban Misfortune because nobody knows how to walk out of her fucking ult. And if
Yeah,
she does go
just play
lethality,
it. Just play the fucking Misfortune.
yeah, but I don't enjoy playing Misfortune. And
Well,
also,
yeah, but do you want LP
I'll
or
have
do
the.
you
I
want?
am getting LP. I'm playing
I
fucking.
know. I'm just
I'm
saying though,
playing
but
Ashe and
always
Kaisa.
play with like I agree. Ash and Kai'Sa are both very strong right now too, but always play what's broken.
If
Like,
I'm so, if I'm
at the end of the
higher
day,
up,
play what's strong.
I'll play things that I'll have. Maybe I'll be like, oh, maybe my team will help set this up.
Misfortune is a Wombo champ though. Is another reason why she's easy to play in solo queue.
Yeah. So if I have a team that can help set her up a
No,
little
you don't.
bit,
You don't need teams to set up.
you
Like
need.
just
I need any amount of setup.
wait for your team to int, and then just watch the enemy team go to Baron, and then just murder them all at Baron.
I like a clicking too much.
You can do that on the guy who's trying to run away after the one guy that survived your ultimate. You know,
I
a click him. Maybe you'll get a super
having a
sweet
good time
view.
I'm having a good time
Oh,
banning her and or Jinx. So those are my bans. I've thrown out a couple Ezreal bans just because playing Ashe into Ezreal sometimes feels really bad when you miss your ult because he fucking shifts out of the way.
LOL.
Um,
Well, W first.
dude, I will, dude. Dude, Ashe's level 1 is. I'll get flashes all goddamn day. I love that champion.
LPL is going to be looking good though. EDG is out. BLG is out. So Uzi's taking a break right now because he's not synergizing with the team. That's interesting. Hopefully, we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully not meh. But yeah, BLG
Whatever, we
is
still
out.
got Doggo.
Yeah, Doggo's
It's
sick.
like, it's like,
But we have Victory 5 still in. Old rookie looking super hot this year. Top is still in. JDG coming back from the dead, thank God. Kanavi is at least looking like a player. But yeah, tomorrow morning, tonight is LNG versus Top. So Doinby Tarzan versus Knight Jackie Love. Who is the new jungler? Xiaoping. That's right.
yeah, I
But I
haven't
think
been
in Victory
watching as
5,
much
Top.
LPL or LCK because I start a new job in a few weeks. So I've been like, on my days off, I'm on that schedule, and then on the weekends, I'm still on my overnight. So I don't. Right now, like I
Soul
woke up
Lane
at two
gods are
o'clock in the
back,
morning.
man.
Hmm.
I said Soul Lane gods are back. The Shy and Rookie are both having fucking ridiculous pop off years. You should watch the Weibo EDG series. The Shy is. Oh man. Ugh. I remember. Like I don't know. For some reason I remember the year they won. 27. I think it was 2017, right?
The
I
IG
think. Yeah.
2018.
2018. Was it season 8? Maybe. Yeah, you're
Because
right. It is 2018. Yeah, because Samsung won 2017. Yeah, 2018. But I remember that year just because, like, do you like? I'm not. Did you remember watching Worlds that year? Did you watch
that
Worlds
was the
that year?
first Worlds I watched.
Dude, they were so fucking good, and the Shy especially was so good. He was so good that year. It was ridiculous. He was so crazy. The solo lane meta that year was awesome. Season 8 was a pretty good season to watch as far as like the meta, I think. From what I remember of it. Super strong solo lanes. That wasn't Silas was busted as fuck. Yeah, she was
No,
fun.
Sauce wasn't out yet.
2018?
Yeah,
Really?
he was not out yet. I remember that was the Urgot and Aatrox top meta,
Oh yeah, and no one in NA wanted to pick up the Aatrox because he had
and
just been
Vlad
remade and people thought he was bad. Fucking, they thought he was fucking bad.
and
Oh
and
my god.
and Nuggery was doing his
Klepto everything.
Klepto Vladimir with Cull.
Yeah, you're right. It was 2019. Holy shit.
Sometimes my memory's really good. It's only about very specific things. I think that's a bit of my tism showing.
Maybe.
Like I can't remember
I just like
a
it's
lot of
hard for me
things.
to distinguish season 8 from 9 on the competitive circuit because those were the years that like when it was right before G2 had become G2, but when Caps was
2019
still
was
on the scene,
when,
was when Super G2 happened.
yeah, that's when,
Caps was still playing for Fnatic in 2018, and Fnatic was top dog because of Caps.
yep. And then he goes,
Roxa was popping the fuck off in 2018.
and 2018 was when Bwipo put Soaz on the bench.
Hmm.
That was the rise of
That was a
Bwipo.
that was a good roster too for Fnatic, honestly, back then. Because you still had Reckless Hillsong in the bot lane. You know, Hillsong was always Hillsong. So Hillsong
And then
is crazy good, honestly.
2019, Caps went over to G2,
Yep, and
and
they won
then
MSI.
and went to the finals, right?
Hmm.
Of
And got fucking booty blasted by
Caps is
Doinby.
Caps is 06 in World Finals.
Caps for a long time was 0 wins against LPL teams in general. So that was a statistic I like to bring up sometimes online to win arguments. When people are talking about EU being the best fucking region in the world, I'm like, bro, your best team hasn't even beaten a Chinese team on
EU's not
international stage ever.
EU's not even the
In
best region in
2019,
Europe.
in 2019, if you went on Reddit, everyone was just talking about how EU is the best region in the world. I thought it was super funny.
I mean,
Like,
I'm a G2 fan. I like that brand. Um,
I think
I,
I wish SKT won that semi.
um,
Honestly, I would have preferred that.
but
I like that SKT lineup.
it's just unfortunate that uh, T1 is going to go undefeated until Worlds and then um,
We'll
lose
see, man.
lose in
We will
semis
see.
to Team Liquid. Um,
Yeah.
there's going to be so gelled and have so there's going to be so hype about it, and they're just going to.
It could be. Well, I mean, we will have losers brackets and stuff, so maybe SKT can make it back through the losers bracket to winter finals to see TL in winners finals. So who knows?
Wait, Worlds is doing losers bracket.
Not confirmed, but Riot made an announcement earlier this year that they were going to look at considering other formats for Worlds, and I hope to God they finally take the call that yeah, no, we need to do a losers bracket because no fucking duh.
I'm making a face not because of what you're saying, but because I got Taki's dust in my eyes. I rubbed my eyes a moment
Oh,
ago, and I was eating Takis. Uh,
well, you have
uh,
done yourself in big time this here.
it's not just spicy; it's also sour and salty.
Well, I'm
Sour
pretty
and
sure
salty
we
like
def
T1's going to be when they lose to an NA team.
yeah, but there's a Korean player on it, so they'll just oh they're going to lose because it's a European team, which is what Steve did. That was his magic formula. It's like, wait, if I have a European team, SKT will lose to us. But obviously you still need Core JJ. So yeah, he's playing 4D chess here. He's thinking ahead.
Five head.
Yeah. It's gonna be big, but we've already thought it out. That is that's Faker's weakness. At least 4 Europeans.
I think Corey today deserves to be back in the finals again. The Worlds.
I didn't think it'd be interested to
Whippo deserves to
see
be back in the finals at Worlds. Bjergsen deserves to see finals at Worlds.
Bjergsen just needs to get the fuck out of groups.
That's what Core JJ and Han Sama's full.
Yeah. Hans is good, man. He's playing real well.
I think that
Fucking
2v2 can compete with any bot lane in the world.
I I judge KDA on ADs like I take it as an important note and like whenever you have players that are like dying once or never in a lot of games like That's a good player. Like he wasn't looking amazing this weekend. He had a lot of few deaths on that Ash game,
No,
but
don't judge a fucking AD by their
no,
KDA
yeah, it
because
happens. It happens.
ha-
No, but like not dying, low deaths. I judge it on low deaths.
Reckless doesn't fucking die, but Reckless also doesn't fucking make any plays.
Yeah, I don't care about Reckless. Like I don't give a fuck about Reckless. He's an overhyped player
Yeah,
in
but
my book forever.
that's like amazing KDA on an ADC.
Yeah, but like it's not necessarily KDA. It's low deaths. I don't care. Like KDA was the wrong term. Low deaths matters because low deaths means you have good positioning. You know where you need to be. And obviously we already know that Han Solo's damage share is high. We talked about this last time. Like it's plenty
And
good for an AD, you know.
sometimes you're playing against a lot of dive comps,
But it ain't no
and
Danny.
and
35% damage share. Ooh, Danny.
Danny boy.
Fucking
Um,
love Danny.
I mean, Danny in 2 years is gonna be one of the top three ADCs in the world, probably.
He could totally be the next double lift. Straight up. He could be the next double lift.
He could be what Double F never was.
I
A
mean,
world
he could
champion.
maybe. I'd like to see NA have any chance of doing it. You know, this year is going to be telling. If we don't at least get out of groups and like make it look like we can have an international team this year, then we might as well just bury the dream ever. It's probably never going to
I
happen. But
I think
Danny
as long as
should
the
at least be a EU
competition
type player.
in the league keeps stacking up, even though we're not doing best of ones, so it
I mean,
really is like a false practice.
games are
Um,
games.
Games are games, but also when you play a best of one, you're playing in a best of one meta.
Yeah,
Whereas when you
but
play in a best of three meta all year long, and then you move to best of fives, it's not that much different.
yeah, but they're going to play best of fives and playoffs and shit, so it'll be all right. You know, it's not like they don't play best of series,
Yeah.
but you'll be all right. I just think it's this year like as long as Cloud9 doesn't explode in summer like they always seem to for whatever random reason, as long as that doesn't happen, that team should stay and grow to be an international contender. And we'll see if it's a real international contender because obviously Summit is of the level, Berserker is probably of the level, and Blabber I think is honestly of the level. But we'll see if the rest of the team can like jive to it. But obviously Liquid should be just it should be a team. It should be a real one. You
I
know,
think Liquid with Giotto is gonna
I think that's a
dominate
big thing.
in best of series.
I think Yoda's big is a big
I
upgrade.
think I think when you get to apply the adaptation and creativity
We'll
like
get to see
between
it hopefully
games,
here.
I think that's
Now
gonna
just
be.
let's live up to it.
I don't think Max Waldo has that in him. I think like you were saying earlier, Summit has a bit of a champion pool, but not so much an ocean. I think Fudge is going to be in that kind of the same boat, being forced into matchups and picks that they're not comfortable with.
I think Fudge will
Um,
surprise you, honestly.
he's a smart guy.
I think he's playing really well for what the team needs him to do. I think he's doing the role, and I think that's really telling of how far he's come. Because you look, remember Lock-in, he wasn't looking good at all. Lock-in, similar story as last year with top
Yeah,
lane. He grows fast, so
he goes fast. He's a very smart guy. But I'm saying is like when you what put in put him to the coals,
yeah, we're about to see. But like
pressure's on.
he wasn't the worst of it internationally either. You know, when C9 went to fucking Worlds last year, he was playing top. Like he was not like measuring up to like world class LPL chop planers and shit and everyone who played against. But like he didn't look that bad.
All right,
I don't think. I have to
I think
remember.
Fudge
I
will be
guess.
a great mid laner in a while. I'm not saying he's a bad one right now,
I think he'd be
but
good
I'm saying
in
like in a
playoffs.
best of series, like you get some drafts in there, you put him on a pick in a situation that he's not comfortable playing,
You know
hasn't
the
played.
biggest thing that we I honestly have overlooked this entire time that we should be talking about, especially in the sense of playoffs, is the crowd because LCS playoffs is going to have a crowd live audience for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah, and Team
Like,
Liquid's gonna get a buff.
but no, but think about it this way: Danny has never played in front of an audience. Straight up. His entire career has been no audience, you know? There's a lot of new players, new blood that have literally never had a studio audience for a game, and I think that's gonna be pretty, impactful for a lot of these teams, especially going into playoffs, you know? I think that's gonna be huge for the younger players for sure, and if you think about these rosters, a lot of them have some rookie talent on it, you know? I'm not sure if Tukui has played in front of a crowd or if he's was only in, European leagues last year, and that's his first year. I don't know, you know? Obviously, Afro is gonna be fine. Was Johnson a rookie last year?
No, year before that.
Okay. So Johnson should have at least played in front of a crowd, but he might not be comfortable in front of them, you know? You
I
can
mean,
think about these things.
and
Who
I think
knows?
everybody on Team Liquid's gonna get a buff from that because
Oh yeah.
they've all played in front of
Yeah.
crowds and
Yeah.
they're all used to it. And I think when you have like
We have a lot of
Whippo
people
and
on Liquid who
Bjergsen
eat yeah, they eat up the
who are
energy
gonna
too.
really they're gonna fucking get lifted.
Well, Hans too, man. I think honestly, because Hans is like, well, they're all just players who make shit happen, so you can cheer for them, you know. But yeah, Whippo is definitely fucking high momentum, high energy. He'll fucking, I miss Jizuke, dude. I fucking miss Jizuke. Him just standing up and yelling at the other 100 Thieves when Danny is popping the fuck off and getting the unofficial penta.
Yeah,
Dude, standing up and yelling at them. Show them who's
that's
boss,
like some
bitches.
CS. That's like some
Yeah, I love it.
CS:GO shit,
I
dude. We're like
Yeah,
that's
fucking
why
type them in all chat. Make that shit happen.
love watching CS:GO because when you get the fucking team shot when someone gets a clutch like 2v1 real quick and they just get up and start fucking screaming at the other team, like
Yeah,
that
dude.
shit's hype. Like
I scream when I make the big plays in league. I fucking love it. You got to be about it. Bring the energy. Bring the hype.
and so
What's our timer? What's our
on
timer?
that, this one went a little long, but I'm liking the format though. I want to talk more about just like some solo queue picks and plays and stuff like that.
And we have to
Um,
talk about the game.
oh
You
yeah, I
know,
want to talk about talk about the game.
this podcast is about the game. You know, sometimes it's going to be a little bit of esports, sometimes it's going to be a little of the scene, and a lot of times it's going to be about the game itself, you know. Patch notes, what's good, what's coming, what sucks,
What's
you
good
know.
is me right now. My fucking
Fucking on the streak, playing hot.
what's my win loss right now? I'm a op.gg that real quick before we end this. Make sure you like it if you like it. If you want to see more of it, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us on the Twitterverse. You got the Paradox Pope right here, or
Underscore.
the Paradox underscore Pope. You got D00M Funk, or is it Doom Funk? I don't know. Find one of them. I'll have
Fuck.
a cool icon soon enough. I'm trying to get more active on there, but also I want to get a profile picture up before I start getting active on there.
I
So
have a profile picture, but I need a banner.
I need a logo in the mix, or I got a logo in the mix and some shit. Follow me on Twitch. I stream sporadically, but I'm trying to get more consistent in that too. Um, Comment with your highest win rate champion in solo queue, ranked, not fucking normies.
Yeah.
Doom Funk. I just want to see my ranked win rate for the past couple days. Last 10 hours, not last 10 hours. I don't know how to fucking work
Ranked right
op.gg.
now, I have 100% win rate on Graves and Echo because I've played one game and won each of them.
All right, 1, 2, 3,
Boom.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 14 games I've played in the past day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. And I'm 11-3.
Damn.
So we're getting it.
Maybe is the queues have balanced out a little bit. They're not as completely awful as they were weeks ago. I haven't played ranked for
you
a
get
month,
you,
apparently.
you gotta play solo queue. Like I've been trying to play League of Legends. Mm-mm. You gotta play solo queue.
Oh, I feel like I've been playing a lot of solo queue. That's not been so much the issue. It's just my games have just been unwinnable.
I
And
mean,
like I know that people say that, like we all say that, and it's a thing. Yeah, LOL, jokes and jokes. But like my games, if you look at OPGG, like my teams are scoring like on the player rating are like fives and fours every single goddamn game.
I don't know what that
You know,
means.
like they give you a score out of 10 on OPGG. It's over like the placement and it says MVP shit, like those that has a score, a number score, and it's bases, off of your warding and your
Oh,
damage and
okay.
your
I
CS
got
and shit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 MVPs out of those 11 wins, and on the 3 losses, I was the ace. Means
Yeah,
I was the best on the losing team.
my last three losses, I was the ace. The fourth game out, it gave it to my support, which is honestly offensive, but I guess it's because I was AFK for the last 3 minutes because this game was so impossible to play. Like, all right, so here's the scoreline of my team. My mid laner is 0-15-4, my ADC 0-3-2, my support, who's apparently the MVP, 0-7-5, and my top lane is 6-9-0. So he's sometimes got a kill
Nice.
all the times he died. Yeah, right. I am 4-3-0. Like I stopped playing the last 3 minutes of this game because my team wouldn't FF, and it was like, it's impossible to play. So I'm not gonna waste my time. But yeah, for whatever reason, they gave it to my support, which is incorrect. I was the ace of that game too. And then the loss before that, I was the ace. The loss before that, I griefed. The loss before that, let's see, my 111 support, my 2-9 ADC. Okay, good stuff right there. The loss before that, I was the ace again.
Bro, you should get me as your ADC. I got my last 2 games were 8-1-11 and
We
13
played
2 and 6.
my last three ranked games are with you
That was a
when you were
while
playing
ago.
top. Yeah, a month
So
ago was the
my
last
win
time we
rate for
played.
the past 7 days on Kaisa is 88% and on Ash 67%.
I was the MVP in 2 of the 3 games we played together. I apparently am not the MVP in this game. I'm 15-4-12. Whatever you say, game.
Hey man, it's not all about kills.
Yeah, but I was I was popping the fuck off. 71 KP. Percent KP. That's pretty good.
I'm hovering
Yeah,
on an average of about
I
50%
know.
KP. And
I
as an
know I'm playing
ADC,
fucking well
50%
though.
KP, I think is pretty fucking solid in solo queue. Where like
I
there's
think
shit happening all over the fucking map.
yeah, I think 60 to 70% is really good on jungle. Like that's a good game. Above 50 is, I would say, expected. Play jungle. That's how it should be. But yeah, no, my games have been awful. They just have been real bad. That game that I had a 0-15 mid laner, in my very next lobby, they gave him to me again. So I had to dodge them. They cost me twice. Going back and looking at this dude's account, let's take a look see at it. All right, so this is the guy they gave me. He's bronze 2 right now. 4 wins, 16 losses. Okay, okay. He's the last game he played was a month ago. He's playing some Yasuo. He went 5-15. The game before that, he played Zed. He went 0-10. Game before that, some more Yasuo, 4-15. Okay, he won the game before that at 5-5-5. Then we got a 6-13, a 5-13, a 1-11, 4-10, 1-11, but it's a victory. 4-16, 8-5. Holy shit, someone must have been playing on his account. 7-11, 6-13, 1-13, 0-10. Somehow he won that. 16-14 and lost that. Very funny.
See,
Yeah, this is I
KD
get on my team.
doesn't mean shit because I lost the game. My top laner was 11-8. Jungle was 5-6. Mid laner was 7-5. I was 9-4. My support was 3-5. Like they are all negative on the other team except for the support, and we lost that game.
Yeah, I mean,
We
I
we
get that. I mean, it obviously it doesn't tell the story of the game by any means. I'm just trying to place in perspective like the players that are put into my games twice in a row, literally.
Well, stop playing fucking jungle so you stop getting shit mid laners.
Well, yeah, but then I get a shit jungler, and then they just get 3 dragons for fucking free, you know?
Don't give a free. You push your lane, you go meet up with your jungle wherever he is, wherever he's at, and you fucking
Sometimes you
ping,
just
you ping assist me on the dragon, and until they follow you there. And if they don't follow you there, you go back and catch your wave, you go bot, you gank, and then you get your bot lane to come up.
sometimes you just play jungle and fucking get 7 CS a minute and fucking 60% KP, and you just pop the fuck off and win the game, though, you know?
And sometimes you're not going to climb like that.
Oh, 100% I'll climb. Like
All
I
right,
know
prove it. I'll put a
these
challenge to you.
games,
Who,
these
who
games are all fucking
who's
matchmaking. I just
who's
can't
gonna
play the game
who's
for
gonna
long periods
finish
of time.
this season higher?
Well, I guess we can find out.
I'm silver 4 right now.
Okay. How much LP are you getting a win?
16, 17.
Okay. Pretty sure my last was 28, and I'm losing like 6 for a loss. So we'll see how long that goes until that starts to level out. But I know my MMR is good. Like I know I can win these games, and I know I can do it. It's just like if you play 7 games and 5 of them are literally painful because matchmaking is that bad, you know, it's just hard to be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do this again tomorrow. That's just been my thing. I can't play more than 3 games at a time without like losing my mind. But
You play
if it's
fucking
better, it'll be
jungle.
okay. Well, I mean, it's just the players, man. Like, what do you do? What do you do when your bot lane is 0-11 and 0-9? What do you do?
I don't
Even if
know.
you're the mid
What do
laner,
you
what do
do
you do?
when your jungle is fucking 0 and 4 and farming
0-4?
farming
0-4
Krugs
is
while you're getting
still
tower dove?
0-4 is
Yeah,
still only 1,000 gold.
because they're just PVE.
Yeah, it's only 1,000 gold. They've only given the other team 1,000 gold. What happens when the rest of your team has given the other team 7,000 gold? Like, how do you play the game? As an honest opinion, like,
You get that
if you were,
shutdown.
dude,
You get that
download my
shutdown.
replays. It's just too bad they're all out of patch now. You could download my replays and you could
I
watch
I
these games and you would
I
be like,
don't
oh
watch
yeah,
replays.
you should.
I don't
It's
watch
really
replays.
you should do that. It's really good
No,
for you.
it's
It's
tilting.
really good for you.
It's
No, it's
tilting.
really good
I
for you.
know that you know the mistakes you make when you make them.
Not always. Sometimes if you look at stuff differently, you can learn something. Honestly, like 100%. There's certain things that sometimes you see how you can approach stuff a little bit
All
differently.
I'm gonna see as a bot laner is that I'm gonna see my jungler walking towards my lane,
Well,
me
yeah, but
getting
like you
tower dove, and then them just turning to
that's
Krugs.
that's not what you're watching it for. You need to watch your
I'm gonna
play.
watch. I'm gonna watch me getting dove while my jungler goes to the dragon. I get dove by 3 people under tower. They turn and go kill my jungler, the dragon, and then take the dragon.
Or you're gonna the watch how the enemy jungler walked over a ward and you were looking at the mini map or something like that. Or you'll
Oh, I
just
know
see
I
a
can't watch
team
the
fight.
minimap. I do what I can when I see things on screen, and sometimes I stay in a bad spot because I trusted my teammates, and I'm like, oh no, my jungler is walking down here to match this gank. He'll be here. They'll be here. My support's only going to drop off a ward. They're not going to walk all the way to mid lane and leave me in a 3v1 under my tower. That's not what's going to happen. And it is what happens
Every time.
every fucking
Back off
time.
back off the tower.
Yeah, but I'm too trusting, man. Too trusting.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Which I'm gonna trust everybody to fucking hit. If you've made it this far, you're gonna fucking hit subscribe.
Yeah, goddamn. How long is this episode?
This is an hour and 44 minutes right now. It's our longest
Damn.
one to date, and you know what? Keep it free form. I like it. These will range from an hour to 2 hours. You know what? At least we're not doing what fucking Monty and Thorne are doing, which is putting out like a 4-hour podcast 3 times a week.
Yeah, well, at least they have a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about.
We go on tangents. We talk about different things. You know.
So did they, but I feel like they've been doing it longer. They got a bit more concise thing. They'll break it into like discussions. They got chapters in their videos. I ain't got no
They got
goddamn
guests.
chapters. You want chapters in the video? You know what? You you want me to
Timestamps.
start editing timestamp chapters too? YouTube calls them chapters now because it's actually a feature. It's not just people in the comments putting like the timestamps. It's you can do it in the editor and stuff. And which if you want me to start doing some editing and stuff, start doing like an intro, all this stuff. Like I'm getting really dark right now because my light's broken back here, so it's just like this. Yeah, hit the subscribe button. We need subscribers if you want chapters. If you want timestamps, you know what? Do it your goddamn self. Be like, oh, that was cool.
That's good.
And one day we'll have guests. Also, starting in May, maybe you could be my first guest on my personal podcast.
Episode 69.
Episode 69 should be premiering in May.
Is that really what it's called?
Yeah, it's really gonna be called
Nailed it.
episode 69. I told you last episode that I was gonna start doing that, and that's gonna just be me talking about life,
Lost Ark,
video games, movies, TV,
Not
all the
League of Legends, though, because that's here.
I'll still be talking about League of Legends too.
No,
It'll be more
no.
like ranty.
None.
Probably
Not allowed. Not allowed.
I ain't signed no contract. This is not my channel. This has been a big damage production.
This is our content, damn it.
But a big damage production. Which I can't wait till I get my own esports team.
Big damage Pope production.
Because it's gonna be big damage esports. And the abbreviation is gonna be BDE.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows we got that big damage esport.
And energy.
And energy. Big damage energy.
Pod of Ages, Season 1.
Episode 5.
Signing out.
Brand new show.